How's it going, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is Michael. If you have not hit the subscribe button, please do so. Today I've brought an interesting subject, trick-or-treating, Halloween, right? Today I'm bringing you a Halloween treat, right? I'm bringing you a segment compilation of many news videos from throughout the world on the issue of trick-or-treating, okay? As many of you know already, Virginia apparently actually passed a city ordinance bringing the issue on trick-or-treating and going to jail. Apparently, it's said that you can go to jail if you're over 14 years old and you are found trick-or-treating in Virginia. Not only that, but I found this across the world also. So I wanted to just bring this to y'all, this news, and just to know what's going on. But I hope you enjoy the show.
Going trick-or-treating in one Virginia town could land you a $100 fine or up to 6 months in jail if you're over 12 years old. What is all this about? Chesapeake, Virginia has a city ordinance that reads, if any person over the age of 12 years shall engage in the activity commonly known as trick-or-treat or any other activity of similar character or nature under any name whatsoever, he or she shall be guilty of a misdemeanor and shall be punished by a fine of not less than 25 nor more than 100 or by confinement in jail for not more than 6 months or both. I'm staunchly opposed to all the before-mentioned rules. On top of that, no child can trick-or-treat after 8 p.m. in town, or they could face a similar punishment. They aren't the only town with a rule like this. In Newport, Virginia, anyone over 12 years old can get a Class 4 misdemeanor for trick-or-treating, according to WSET. Here's to not turning 13 in the next couple of weeks or so. Matt Uris for CBS Philly.
This is a seasonal question people ask a lot. How old is too old to go trick-or-treating? And some cities are answering that question for you.
Yes, and they're taking it very seriously. Greg Argos is here with a crackdown on some kids on the hunt for some free candy.
Yeah, guys, if you're planning on trick-or-treating in Chesapeake, Virginia, you may want to go dressed as a prisoner because the town ordinance there makes it an arrestable offense to trick-or-treat if you're over 12 years old. So we wanted to find out if there were any similar laws in our region for this popular pastime.
3 weeks to go.
Count from Sesame Street.
Be a vampire.
And plenty of people already planning their transformation for Halloween night.
On our annual Halloween costume shopping.
Beat the rush before all the good costumes are gone.
And while many are thrilled about trick-or-treating here in Philly,
one day to just throw on something freaking awesome and have a great time.
A town law in Chesapeake, Virginia has people talking and heads spinning.
If you're over 12, you can't trick-or-treat. It's illegal.
I think it's kind of absurd, though, to really enforce that.
Wow, that's crazy.
It might be good, because some people do take advantage of it when they're a little bit older.
The law, a misdemeanor, is posted clear as day on the town's website, stating those 13 and over can face up to 6 months in jail and up to $100 in fines for engaging in, quote, the activity commonly known as trick-or-treat.
Are they putting handcuffs on 18-year-old kids because they wanted to get Hershey's chocolate for free?
There's no age limit or any restriction on trick-or-treating.
That's here in Philly, though Philadelphia Police Captain Sekou Kinnebrew says everyone should be aware of the city's curfew laws.
If you're 16 and older, you can be out till 10. 14 to 15, you can be out till 9. And then 13 and under, you got to get in by 8.
We found similar rules in many southern Jersey and northern Delaware cities as well.
It's a school night anyway, so you have to get up early.
But at least in our region, for those 13 and older, turning yourself into a conniving clown to get some candy won't land you in cuffs.
Need to move to Philadelphia, because I'm going to be out there getting me some candy, and I'm definitely over 13.
It is 6:14 and trending this morning. One state has a message for those older kids on Halloween.
It's a new law in a part of Virginia that puts to rest the question of how old is too old to go trick-or-treating. Brandy's here with how people are reacting to this on social media. Brandy?
Everybody has opinions on this. I say you're never too old, but this is kind of harsh. There's now an official age to stop trick-or-treating. In part of Virginia, the last year to trick-or-treat is 12. 13, you're risking jail time. That's according to HRC.com. It says anyone 13 and older can be sent to jail for up to 6 months. Yeah. In cities like Newport, going door to door after 12 is a criminal offense. We're talking Class 4 misdemeanor. Plus, parents aren't allowed to wear masks either, just in case they get tempted to go out and trick-or-treat with their kids. So no matter the age, trick-or-treating after 8 p.m. can land you behind bars for up to 30 days. This is blowing my mind. I think it's pretty harsh all around, but some people are on board with it, like Heather. She says, that's why I quit giving out candy. Carloads of high school kids, no costumes, carrying Walmart bags, just cleaning out my candy dish. You know, those few spoil it for the rest of us, Heather. Pura says, yes, it's the big kids that stole my entire basket and candy last year, leaving nothing for the little kids. Now, Rebecca says, I welcome all children. Happy to see them at my door doing something fun rather than being out creating problems, although when they're visiting the other homes, apparently they are creating problems. And Stacy says, I don't care if a teen comes to my door for trick or treat. Life is too short. Keep playing. I want grandparents at my door asking for candy too. So, I think it really depends on the kid, because I can tell you my 12-year-old who is about to age out, when she's 15, 16, she's still going to be that kid who wants to dress up.
Right.
God bless her, and I hope she always keeps that innocence and childhood nature.
Yeah.
Now my 11-year-old at 15, 16, we're going to have to lock that down a little bit.
Right.
Watch her a little more closely.
Okay.
They must have no crime in that part of Virginia if the police can be out rounding up 13-year-olds.
Is the district attorney just going to, oh my gosh.
I'm going to send 13-year-olds to jail for 6 months? Really?
What?
How's that going to work?
I think if you can knock on the door before 8 p.m., I don't care how old you are, but don't come to my house at 8:15. I'm like, we have to get up early.
Yeah.
We shut the lights on.
The time I'm down for, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, and we cut it off.
It is 6:16 this morning. Let's go over to Cheetah now, and let's talk about...
My best memory is probably a few years ago, because I went out with my friends and we got so much candy, our arms were hurting.
Hershey's, cookies and cream, Kit Kat, Jolly Ranchers, Coffee Crisps, like the Airheads.
Kit Kat, Aero, Twix, lollipops.
Ridiculous. Like, I think it's just stupid.
That's silly. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you get fined for going out with your friends to have a good time?
If I were the mayor of Bathurst, New Brunswick, I would get rid of the law, completely. Because, you're never, like I said, you're never too old to have fun. That's it.
Yeah, I think he's right about putting a law in there to say that if you're over 16, you shouldn't wear a mask or anything like that, because then they start to cause that kind of, they start to be immature and start bad stuff, you know what I mean?
16 maybe, because you're in high school now, you're getting older, you're becoming an adult soon, and you can still dress up and have fun, but maybe trick-or-treating isn't the best to do.
When you're 18, if you want to go trick-or-treating, get your last year, before you come out an adult officially. So, I think it's fun to, just go out if you're 18, just, do what you want, because, it's your last year.
In my opinion, you should really stop at, when you start high school.
In my opinion, I don't think that there is a set age as to where you can or cannot go trick-or-treating. In my culture, for example, we celebrate Poost, which is, our Halloween, which is where we scare away the winter and welcome the spring, and everyone dresses up and participates in there. It'll be rare if you see someone who doesn't. So you have people from 2-year-olds to adults who all participate and join in this celebration. I think 8's too early, because that's near the time that I go out.
I would say maybe 10:30, 11, because then you can actually go late and actually experience Halloween, because it's nice and dark and spooky.
How old is too old to trick or treat? Well, one city in Virginia says 14 years old, but we want to know what you think. You can open our Care 11 app to vote while we explain more in our morning's digital dive. Last year, Chesapeake, Virginia made national news for the restrictive Halloween rules. The city's ordinance code said anyone over 12 years old caught trick-or-treating could face a misdemeanor charge, a fine, and possibly 6 months in jail. Yeah, I'm not kidding. This was a real thing. It was pretty harsh. It appears the bad press, though, inspired the city to make some changes. Now, this year, trick-or-treating in Chesapeake is open to kids up to 14 years old, and the city council voted to remove the possibility of jail time from the official trick-or-treat ordinance. But the city code still says anyone over the age of 14 can be found guilty of a Class 4 misdemeanor. Same goes for anyone trying to fill their candy bags past 8 p.m. Yeah, many of you, though, already weighing in on this. Lori said, I don't care how old you are. If you come trick-or-treating at my house, you'll get a treat. Ages 0 to 100 are welcome. CJ told us, just give them candy. Why be stingy? Let them be kids a little longer. You give a parent with a 6-month-old and a pumpkin suit candy. This is no different. She got a point there. And Beth said, an age limit, really? Just let the kids have fun. As long as they're not damaging anything, let kids have fun. Meanwhile, again, you can head to carrollton.com/vote now to weigh in. Keep on voting. It looks like you guys, 15 is the age limit folks are agreeing on right now. But like I said, keep voting. We'll be checking throughout the morning.
Some of our sunrisers don't think so, though. They just think you should be trick-or-treating until you're 100.
I believe you can dress up anytime, any age you want. But trick-or-treating, I mean, I look at it as a way for kids to get candy because they have no money. If an adult came to my door asking for candy, I'd be like, go buy some.
Kids... I don't know. I did it in college. I think it was super fun. It's more of like a gathering of friends who do it together. So I don't know.
It's this argument's more about when are you an adult and when are you a kid still? Were you a kid in college?
No.
Would you consider you were an adult trick-or-treating? Okay.
Except on the 31st.
Okay.
Hey, Jay.
We are all for respecting the rule of law here at Strahan, Sarah, and Kiki. But sometimes there are laws that are so bonkers that you just have to wonder what in the world were people thinking. So we are going to round up a couple of those in our new segment called Weird Laws.
Yes, Weird Laws. And I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Because this one's crazy to me, and we kind of talked about it going into the break. But in Chesapeake, Virginia, if anyone over the age of 12 is caught trick-or-treating alone or without adult supervision after 8 p.m., you can be charged up to $250 and slapped with a Class 4 misdemeanor. Yeah, and what's even crazier, this penalty has actually been reduced. The old law had kids over 14 going to jail. Now they moved it back to 12. Wow. And now the reason they say they're doing it because they want to curb all the shenanigans and mischief around Halloween. No. But do you think this is crazy, or is there any merit to this law?
This is crazy.
Crazy, y'all? What do y'all think? Y'all think this is crazy?
Yeah.
Who thinks that this is a good law?
Yeah.
One guy who works here, who's the only person who works here, I could actually see trick-or-treating alone.
12 is way...
They gotta let kids be kids.
But can you...
like 6th grade. That is way too young to be like punishing them. And with jail time, how much room do you have in your jails?
Like, can you imagine? You're in jail, somebody comes, hey, what you in here for? Hey, man, I was just out there trying to get me a Kit Kat, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely hilarious. But seriously, that's crazy. I don't even know what to say about it. I just feel like the laws is getting real weird. They just trying to put anybody in jail.
Yep.
Now y'all want the kids to be slaves. It's just like, y'all got to stop.
Thanks for joining us. We are alive at 5. We are ready to get your thoughts on our special Halloween show today. But first, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a follow on Facebook if you want to get in on the conversation. This one is a good one. I'm here with Caitlin Ross and Cheryl Preheim. Ladies, today, one question. Can you be too old to trick or treat?
No. I'm going in hard on this. It's straight no. I say if you want to dress up and come to my door, I'm giving you a candy bar every single time.
It's interesting. I have a child who just turned 13, and he's on the fence about it. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to go. So to be determined.
But that probably may be from the perspective of, I'm becoming I'm too old for this.
Right.
I don't want to go with my little brother in his Batman costume. I'm the cool kids. But for me, I think I went until I was at least 6. I mean, all throughout high school. I don't remember a time in high school not trick-or-treating. Yeah. And you're 17 or 18 in high school. Mm-hmm. I still thought I was a kid. I wasn't paying any bills or anything.
Right, exactly. And you're just out there to have fun.
I thought it was my rite of passage. So here is why we're asking you this question, because there's a city in Virginia that says kids over the age of 14 cannot trick or treat. If you do, they say you could face a level 4 misdemeanor there. But this has been upgraded from last year. Last year, the age limit was 13 there. However, they came back because this started an all-out outcry on social media and in that community, because last year there was some jail time attached to it. Now, ladies, they do say it was in an effort to curb teen violence and, you know, sort of the more tricks during Halloween from that age group.
Yeah. Well, it scared them away because at that point it was like 12 or 13 and they said up to 6 months in jail and a fine. Now, police said, listen, we weren't trying to enforce it necessarily. We were just trying to get the message across, but they've backed off it a little bit. You love Halloween, so I just see you wanting to talk about it.
Because I think this is outrageous. Let kids trick or treat. It's fun. I do understand if kids are causing trouble, I think that's the exception, not the rule. I think there's always going to be a few people who are going to smash pumpkins and throw eggs, but why let that ruin it for everybody else? I think that this is a holiday that's about fun. It's about dressing up like your favorite person, your heroes. Maybe I'll be Cheryl Preheim or Aisha Howard for Halloween next year. But let people do it. Let them have fun.
All right. Should there be an age limit for trick-or-treating? A lot of you have an opinion about this. Let's get right to our comments. Let's start with Jennifer, who says, I'd say 16. She thinks 16 is the cutoff. If you're old enough to work and drive to get your own candy bar, then it's about time to stop. 14's a bit young, though, she said.
Yeah, 14 is a bit young. I'm thinking of myself at 14. You're like a kid. Like, you still are going to dress up, too. I don't agree with you trick-or-treating and you didn't dress up, though.
Oh, that's true. Gotta have a costume.
Yeah, okay. I need you to have a costume.
You have to have a costume. And I think a lot of the people who are in the comments are talking about trying to curb that crime. Let's get to the next commenter here. This one is Cassie, who's talking about, she read up on this and she understands that they did want to cut back on egging houses, TPing trees, things like that. But she says, look, if teens are respectfully trick-or-treating, there's no issue with that. She doesn't understand why the law was written that way. And I agree, Cassie, abolish the law.
Christy Brown Underwood is with Caitlin on this one. She says, who cares how old they are? She thinks they should go at any age. They are still kids in my eyes until they graduate. As long as they leave the littles alone and don't egg my house, let them get some free candy.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a safe and fun Halloween. And, you know, in that town, I hope it does come back, because I could imagine that really rained on the whole Halloween situation there in Virginia.
That story rained on my parade so much. I actually went to a wholesaler and bought 2 giant sized candy bars. Like, I am handing out the big guns this year.
Nice.
I'm giving the full size candy bars.
All right, it's raining in your neighborhood.
My big family to your house. Yeah, I think my 13-year-old would be like on board for that.
All right.
All right. We want to know what you think about this. Keep the conversation going. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post here every weekday. Follow us on our social media pages. We love it when you are part of our conversation. Have a good one.
Yeah, but we got to dress up.
All right. There is
Yes.
a town in Virginia that has banned trick-or-treating over a certain age.
Aww.
Despicable. Okay, so it's in Virginia, like I said. They say if you're over 14, you cannot go trick-or-treating, and there are consequences.
I think that's a fair age, though.
What age is it?
14. So high schoolish.
Like
if you do it, you're subject to a $250 fine.
Really?
But here's the deal. This is why they did it. In 1968, way back then, they had a really violent trick-or-treating year. I'm assuming maybe some older kids were causing ruckus, some trouble, and so that's when they put the age limit. Back then, it was even more strict. If you were more than 12 years old, you couldn't go, and they also threatened prison time or jail time. If you were caught, they'd throw you in jail.
So dramatic.
So now they're a little bit more lenient. They say you can be 14, and we're just going to fine you. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Okay, I think there's 2 ways around this. One, you take your nieces and your nephews.
Yep.
There you go. And the other one is you wear a full-on costume so they don't know how old you are.
Or you have a policeman everywhere. Or just when you, like, trick-or-treat, can I see some ID? Could I see your ID, please?
No. You know what else? You could dress up as a policeman.
Yes, you can.
And then it's like, I can't arrest myself. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
What do you think, Beth?
I think 14 is a fair age. Because then at that point, you're like old enough to bring a smaller sibling or a smaller friend, something, and I think it's fair.
I think you're ageist.
I love spooky season. I think this is fair.
Oh, there's so much more.
No arrest or fine.
But isn't it true that one bad apple spoils it for everybody?
That's right. I mean, why can't people just behave?
Be happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
These aren't your average trick-or-treaters. They're not in costume or asking for candy.
Department of Corrections?
They're state probation and parole agents checking in on registered sex offenders, making sure they're following the rules of supervision for Halloween.
What's with the big bowl of candy?
This guy wasn't. So the team of agents and Milwaukee police took him into custody after finding a large bowl of candy inside his home and his porch light turned on. Because he is a registered sex offender, those are violations of his supervision and not allowed. Offenders also can't wear costumes or have decorations inside or outside their homes.
They have to remain in their house during the trick-or-treat hours, 1 hour before up to 1 hour after.
Families like Gwen Murphy and her granddaughter are thankful for the extra protection.
Of course I appreciate it. I got granddaughters. I ain't got time to be worrying about this.
So they can enjoy the holiday and maybe just satisfy their sweet tooth.
You guys want to pick out a piece of candy? We're trying to make this a safe place for the kids in the community to participate in Halloween. Just one step to having some sense of security and safety.
Last year, agents arrested 8 sex offenders for alleged supervision violations during the operation in Milwaukee County. Reporting in Milwaukee, Lauren Linder, today's TMJ4.